Can you hide from God? And you're going to say, of course not. Why not? How does God know what I'm doing right now that I'm learning Torah? Tanya. Is it because he sees? Welcome to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine coming to you from Chabad Judaism.Chabad Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you Tanya. So our sages say in Pirkei Avos, in the ethics of our fathers, that in order to turn away from evil and do good, we should know that reflect upon three things, and you will not come to sin. Know what is above you, eye that sees and ear that hears. What does that mean? An eye that sees. So God is seeing. Yeah, but God obviously doesn't have a physical eye. So actually, on the contrary, I have a physical eye that's limited. So I can only see so far. God has an eye that's not physical. And therefore, he could see much further. Can't even see what I'm doing right now, being that he doesn't have that limitation. I've told this story over before. It's a beautiful story of Rabbi Manis Friedman with his granddaughter who had a doll, and the doll arm broke. And he says, "Oh, you must be very sad." He says, "No, it's only a plastic arm. It's not real." So then he thought to himself, "Oh, that's true. It's not real. But is this arm real? Is my arm real? Is it really? It's not real. What's the proof? Is it could be incapacitated?" Because if you look in the dictionary, actually, and you see the word arm, it's not going to only tell you that it is something with, that's got bones, ligaments, and whatnot, and, that it can reach for something. It will also tell you that an arm is something that can reach out, right? So you can have an arm, not just a human arm, arm of a doll or arm of a machine. The point is that there's the idea of the arm. The idea of the arm, well, ultimately, the ultimate idea of an arm is God's arm, or God's eyes, that he can see. So the fact that we have an arm or that we can see is we actually get that from him. So the difference is we have limitations, physical limitations, how far we can see. But God doesn't have those limitations, so he can see beyond. Now, it actually goes deeper than that. Is it because God is seeing and hearing me right now? Is therefore he knows what I'm doing? That would suggest, that would imply at least, that there's something outside of God. Because, I'm seeing names of people on the screen, and that's why I introduce you, because I see the names. Well, those names are outside of me, and so are you. But the truth is, everything is revealed to God, because that's what seeing does, is a revelation of that which is. It's actually to God, it's because he knows himself. So not seeing something outside of himself, he's seeing within himself. So let's give that from a human perspective. And that would be, well, your own 248 limbs of your body, you experience them themselves. Okay? If you feel your head, it's painful, you got a headache. It's not because I see I have a headache. Oh, I hear I have a headache. No, that's something outside of me. I'm experiencing it because of me. So therefore, cold and heat, we feel because it's a part of me. Or if my toenail got stepped on or scorched by fire, it's not something outside of me, it's of me. So my awareness, my knowledge is because it's of me. And I feel me, right? That's how God knows. So when we say seeing, Well, we don't mean seeing as a tool to see outside of me, but it really means to see that which is within me, because I'm experiencing it of me. That's how God knows. Not only knows, but that knowledge also is the source of vitality. Just like the brain is the source of vitality for the entire body, it has an awareness of every limb of the body, right? So too God has an awareness and is the source of life of everything within creation, because it's all happening, of all of creation, within him. Now, it's not happening within the brain, because the brain gives vitality outside of itself, but it's an awareness of, it is the source of everything, the source of life for the entire body. So, as a result, we can't hide from God. Not because God doesn't, his sight is without limit. Well, it is because of that, but it's because it's something that's not happening outside of him. So he's knowing me. That's what it means that God is the knower, the knowledge, and the known. All is one. So Maimonides teaches us that idea. And we use these analogies to help us to understand, right? What's the analogy? Well, again, the fact that I'm aware that someone stepped on my toe or got burned, it's not because I see it. No, because it's of me. But there's a problem with that then. That brings us to a problem. This is where there's a breakdown in the analogy. And what is that? Very simple. I'm affected by the cold, by the heat. I'm affected. I'm changed. My soul is affected. Right? If your toe got burnt, it's not just your toe that gets burnt, but your whole being gets affected by that. And of course, what's the problem with that? God is affected because he's aware of me, that something happened, that I'm learning that. I've changed him. What does that mean? Nothing changes God. He can't be affected. Everything is bound up in one with him. So break down in the analogy. And this is a simple idea that, even though intellectually we understand that this is not possible, that God, is ever growing and ever evolving, like hopefully we are, because not everything is of me. So therefore I can gain more and be more. But God, before he created the world and after he creates the world, there is no difference. This is what it means to be believers, descendants of believers, without, even intellectual speculation and understanding of it. This is something that we say in our prayers every day, that we have, perfect faith and belief in. That you are the same before he created the world as you are after you create the world. So, God knows everything as he knows himself, just as I know and I'm aware that something happens within me. With me, it changes me. I'm cold. I gotta go get a jacket to put on, a sweater to put on. I'm hot. I've got to take off my jacket, or whatever, right? That's a change. So when we say that creation doesn't affect God, it's true. Creation, the act of God being creator, doesn't affect him. Meaning he doesn't change. Oh, now that I created, this vast universe, I've got to do things differently, When it gets cold out, I'll put on a figurative coat. That being said, that doesn't mean we don't have an effect on God. We do. But that's not him as creator. That's him in the relationship we have with him. That's beyond creation. In the relationship we have with God, the mitzvah we do touches him. He wants it because he wants a relationship. So in that manner, we affect the core of God. As opposed to what God does, doesn't change him. So let's maybe put this into human terms. Oh, but what do you mean if I go to work and I make a lot of money, I'm going to have a bigger house, a bigger car, I'm going to have more things? Oh, so if those things are important to you, then it changed you. But if it's not, then it didn't change anything. I would like to think that if I had $1 billion, it wouldn't change me. It might change what I do, but I will be giving Tanya class just the same. Well, actually, no, it won't be the same, because you know what? With all that money, I'm going to reach out and get a lot more people to come and study. So if you're whole, complete, and worthy, you're not needy. And you don't live your life in neediness. And then you can live your life for what you're needed for. So that's something that can teach us from God. God's complete, he's whole. Much more than I am. The reason I'm whole, complete, and worthy is because I get that from him. Because it's what he is. And I have a part of that in me. A piece of Hashem in me. My divine self. So when I make that my true reality, my true identity, my true being, so then $1 billion isn't going to change it. $1 billion is going to make me whole, more whole. Can't be more whole than what God gives me of him. Money is from him. It's not of him. It's not a piece of him. I got a piece of him. Now, the $1 billion would be very nice to get from him. Only so I could help more people to share. Do the tzaddik see more than we do? Absolutely. Because they live truly with their godly soul. That's their only reality. That godly soul gives them a vision that's way beyond our vision. Absolutely. And a Rebbe, even more so. Alice, mitzvahs change the atmosphere, but not Hashem. No, so as I said, the mitzvah is about our relationship to God. So when we do the mitzvah, you are giving something to Hashem.